Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Braised&Confused. I'm your boy David Bowles, and on today's episode, we're starting something special. This is actually something that's near and dear to my heart, ramen. I love Japanese cuisine, I love Japanese culture, and we're making ramen today. I mean, I have it tattooed on my wrist right here. I'm really passionate about ramen. We're gonna be making chicken shoyu ramen today. It's a super easy broth. It does take some time and it takes a little bit of labor of love. We're gonna bring all 5 elements of ramen together. Honestly, I can eat ramen every day. I don't care if it's hot, cold, raining, whatever it is, right? I love ramen so much I got it tattooed on my wrist. I try to go to Japan every year and search out a new flavor of ramen, a new version of ramen, whatever it is. So this is gonna be my version of ramen, but we're gonna keep it simple with the toppings because that's how I love it. Anyways, enough talking, let's go ahead and get, okay, so if you saw my air fryer chicken nugget recipe, you saw that I actually bought a whole chicken. I broke that down. The reason I bought that chicken is actually so I can start this episode and work on this recipe. So this is actually all the bones that were left from that. I have the whole carcass, I have the breast, I have the thigh bones that I took out, the wing bones and all that. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna roast off the carcass first, and then we're going to blanch all the other bones. So we're gonna take this chicken carcass and we're just gonna cut it in half. We're gonna take all the other bones as well. We're gonna cut them up. That's gonna help release some of that collagen that's in those joints. It's gonna help flavor our broth and not only give it that nice mouthfeel that you get from ramen, right? So let's go ahead and break this down real quick. If it cuts really easy like that, you know you hit your joint, so. Okay, so we're gonna grab a pot. I have about an 8-quart pot right here. We're gonna fill this with just a few cups of water just to cover the bones that we need to blanch. So we already cut up our chicken carcass. This is just gonna go straight into a pan. We're gonna throw this in the oven. We're gonna roast it until we get some nice color on it, caramelization. You could also skip this step and you could blanch this with your bones. I prefer to roast it. I like that roasted flavor in my ramen broth when I'm doing like a shoyu ramen or something like that. It kind of helps add some depth to your broth, and in my opinion, you can actually cook it a little less because you have that kind of roasted flavor in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the aromatics of the ramen, right? Ramen broth is pretty simple. There's only a few ingredients that you actually need to put in it to give it that like flavor. Some people even skip some ingredients depending on the ramen broth that they're making. Like for instance, tonkotsu broth, people typically don't put the ginger in the tonkotsu broth. I mean, I would, I love ginger, but in some they don't because it kind of gets lost in tonkotsu broth because the pork is the flavor in that broth, but there's not a ton of flavor in chicken. That's kind of why we're roasting our bones as well. But let's go ahead and talk about that. We have 1 white onion. Everything that we're gonna put in the pot, we're gonna leave the peel on. That peel has actually a lot of nutrients and has a lot of flavor. Ginger as well. Ginger, we're gonna go ahead and leave that peel on as well. That has a lot of flavor. So we're gonna cut this up nice slices. Scallions, we're just using the white end of the scallions today. We're gonna save the green for our topping. And leeks. So leeks is also known as negi in Japan. You'll see this in just about every ramen recipe. Okay, so our bones have been blanching. We're gonna go ahead and strain those. The carcass is still in the oven and it's still roasting. So we're gonna let that go ahead and, well, I guess it's ready. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. All right, so that's pretty much what we're looking for right there. It's got nice color, nice and golden brown. As you can tell, a lot of that fat's kind of rendered off. We're gonna save that. We're gonna use that into our fat that we're gonna add to this ramen later on, so don't throw that away. All that fat, we're gonna go ahead and take that bad boy. We're just gonna strain it and reserve this for later. So now we're gonna work on our vegetables and the aromatics that are gonna go into the stock. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our vegetables now. So our vegetables, we're gonna take 1 onion, whole onion peel and all. We're just gonna cut this in half. Next, we're gonna take our green onions. And we're just gonna take off the little rubber band and we're just gonna cut them right at the white part right here. A little bit of green's okay, but that's about what we want. So our leeks, what I like to do with the leeks is I like to cut them down the middle right here and give them a nice rinse. There is a lot of dirt in these things. Me personally, I don't like dirt in my ramen. I don't know about you, but so let's cut these bad boys up and give them a nice quick wash and we'll put everything into our pot. All right, so there you go. We washed our leeks. There's no dirt in it. We're dirt free. Now we're ready to put these bad boys in the pot. All right, so now we're gonna start working on our tare sauce. This is the base flavor for our shoyu ramen, right? So we're making a basic shoyu tare sauce. So we have some ginger that we're gonna slice up nice and thinly. We're gonna throw a little more scallions in there as well. And then on top of that, we're gonna actually put some garlic in there, some soy sauce, some mirin, and a bunch of other stuff. So let's go ahead and get started with it. All right, so in a medium pot, we're gonna do 1.5 cups of soy sauce, 1 cup of mirin. Super untraditional, but I like to do it. I add 2 tablespoons of some black vinegar, so. Then we're gonna add all our aromatics to this and let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. Next, you're gonna add about a good handful of some Japanese bonito flakes. This is gonna add a lot of that umami flavor. We're also gonna add in 2 cups of water, just so this isn't super salty. All right, super important, our stock has come to a boil. We're gonna shut the heat almost down to a simmer, and we're gonna add in some Japanese kombu to this. We're gonna add this into our pot right here, just right on top. Push it down a little bit, and let that continue to boil. All right, so our tare is just about finished. It's been boiling for about 15 minutes. I tasted it, it's got some amazing flavor. We're just gonna go ahead and strain this, put it in the fridge for up to an hour, overnight the best so you could use it the next day. So for our chicken shashu, super easy. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna place this into a bowl, and we're gonna take some of our tare sauce that we made earlier. We're gonna marinate this for an hour in some tare sauce, and then just pop it in the oven and do a nice roast on it until it's finished. Okay, so right now we're gonna be making our fat for our ramen. We're doing a chicken fat, also known as schmaltz. Super easy. Basically, we're gonna add some chicken skin from our chicken earlier. We're gonna cover this in some water. Now, we're just covering this. We're gonna add in some celery and just a few more pieces of ginger. We're gonna turn this on to low heat. Basically, what's gonna happen is all the water will evaporate, leaving you with just chicken fat. Beautiful chicken fat. So our ramen's been going for about 4 hours. If you could see how much it's reduced, we started up here and it's reduced almost about by half. So we're pretty much good to go. I'm just working on a few more things and we're gonna go ahead and put this together. All right, there you have it. That is our chicken shoyu ramen with chicken shashu, poached egg, and some green scallions. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this. The chicken is amazing. It takes on a lot of that tare flavor. You know, I think if I marinated it overnight, it would probably be even more of that umami tare. The noodles that I use, so I use these rice noodles right here. Really good. The texture is a little different from typical ramen noodles. They are a little chewier. The flavor is really good. So, you know, I did plan on making my own noodles and it didn't turn out very well. So I'm gonna work on that probably in the next one. But yeah, these are, I mean, honestly, this is a pretty good bowl of ramen. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy it. Anyways,
Are you good?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Turn that notification bell on so you can be notified when I post more videos. I'll see you in the next one.